You're muted, Brian.
The
Now we
setup
can
is
hear.
different when I joined this time. Anyway, I was going to say I was trying not to comment and now I can't since we've started. Okay, are we all set? Want to make sure the boss gives me the thumbs up. Perfect. It being 7 o'clock, I'd like to call to order the Tuesday, September 4th edition of the Planning Advisory Committee meeting. Are there any disclosures of the pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? There being none, can I have a mover? Any additions or deletions, changes to the agenda this evening? Nope. Mover and seconder, please, for the adoption of the agenda. Councillor Broom, Councillor Lang. All in favor? Carried. Mover and seconder for the August 10th committee minutes. Councillor Broom, Councillor Lang. Questions, concerns, comments? All in favor of receiving his information? Carried. Mover and seconder for 8.1, Building and Septic Department report. Councillor Jacob, Mayor Puckett. Comments? All in favor of receiving his information? Carried. Mover and seconder, please, for information items 9.1 through 9.5. Councillor Jacob, Mayor Puckett. Any comments, questions, or concerns on any of the items here, 9.1 through 9.5? Councillor Jacob.
Just a question through you to either the CIO or the township planner. When it comes to the notice of decision, we received a number of those letters of objection. My guess is that they don't qualify as formal objections or appeals to LPAT. So I just wanted to confirm that that was correct.
Through you, Chair, that is correct. They are not formal objections. They weren't received in time for the decision of council, so they weren't considered. And even if they were part of it, I think the county on your agenda, we circulated a position on the private property being exempt from the official plan. So even if they had been received on time, the response would have been, the consent of the landowner is not required, and the county is required to have an official plan. So, but they weren't received anyway. So it's a moot point. So we're just taking those the notice of objections, and they're being put in a pile. And today is the last day for the appeal of the official plan, which we understand there have not been any appeals. So the official plan is in effect. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Anybody else on 9.1 to 9.5? All in favor of receiving this information? Carried. Mover and seconder, please, for 11.1 and 11.2. Application for consent. Michelin and Yakim Daniel Chuck. Councillor Broom, Councillor Jacob. Bruce, anything to add further to what's in your report here?
Thank you, Chair. So I'll keep it brief because you do have my report there. So no, I don't have anything further to add. The recommendation is that the application can be approved subject to several conditions, one being the survey. The second one being a zoning amendment is required to reduce the setback from a mineral aggregate reserve. And the last condition is related to a site plan control agreement is required because there was a site scoped environmental impact study and an aggregate impact assessment that were submitted with those applications, and each of them had recommended mitigation measures. So that site plan application is to implement those mitigation measures that were recommended in the studies. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Bruce. Any comments or questions on 11.1 or 11.2? All in favor of the recommendations? Carried. Mover and seconder, please, for 11.3, application for consent. Ryan Arbuthnot and Tim McDougall. Councillor Broome, Councillor Lang.
Excuse me, Chair, it's Arbuthnot.
Arbuthnot, thank you. Sorry about that. If you're online listening. Anything further to what you provided in your report, Bruce?
Thank you, Chair. No, nothing further. This is another one of those applications where it's a law addition. And because of some of the silliness of the Planning Act, we have to do this 1 square foot piece of property that has to go from the lands that are receiving the additional property. And that 1 square foot has to go to the township and be adopted into your road system so that it will allow those properties to legally merge on title. So, but other than that, there were no concerns or issues, and the recommendation was to approve it, subject to that condition with that 1 square foot conveyance to the township. Thank you.
Questions or comments from the committee? Councillor Jacob.
Just to confirm through you, Mr. Chair, to the township planner, so that conveyance, it would be made, since it's Burnstown Road, to the county of Renfrew.
Through you, Chair, thank you for catching that slip up. Yes, Burnstown Road is a county road, so it would be to the county of Renfrew Public Works, not to the township. Thank you. As soon as I said it, I saw it, but I caught it, but thank you for catching me on that.
Thank you, Bruce. And just a supplementary, just a question through you, Mr. Chair, to the CAO. Have we received any comments from the County of Renfrew Public Works and Engineering Department?
I don't have comments from the Public Works Engineering Department. I have it from our CBO and our Director of Public Works, but not them yet that I can see here.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor of the recommendation? Carried. Mover and seconder, please, for 12.1, application for subdivision and site plan control of Hogan Heights. Councillor Broome, Councillor Lang. Any comments on the response to comments? Angela and Lindsay, I assume we're receiving this as information. Okay. Councillor Broome.
Through you to the CAO, was this sent to the Cherries? Since it is, thank you, Angela. I just wanted to make sure that they got a copy, that's all.
Yes, it was. It was sent.
Any other comments? All in favor of receiving his information? Carried. That's it, folks. Next meeting for this is October 12th. We'll see you guys next Tuesday, if not sooner. Take care.